Are you ready to be that bitch? I'm like, of fucking course you are. Welcome to the show with real stories from women who chose their highest vision and they never fucking looked back. That bitch didn't happen overnight, but she was always on her fucking way. You guys, today we are welcoming an absolute icon, an absolute powerhouse of a woman, somebody who I think is insanely intelligent and talented, and is also my business partner. So, of course, she's a fucking bad bitch. Her name is Suzie Cuthbertson, and we're welcoming her to the That Bitch podcast. Suzie is a subconscious expander, shadow expert, and business strategist to quite literally the top 1%. She also happens to be my business partner and co-founder of the Femme Power Grid, a home and a hub for women entrepreneurs who are pioneering in their fucking industries and want deeper level conversations, activations, and collaborations that move their mission forward. Welcome, Suzie. I am so excited to have you here today.
I don't even know how you just did that, but
you know,
hey ho.
I'm a bad bitch. I'm a bad bitch. Welcome, Suzie. I'm so excited to have you. We finally get to do this.
I'm so excited.
Yes.
I know. We're finally in the room doing this.
Yeah. So, Suze, transparently, actually, you guys, the truth is, we actually recorded this episode once.
We did. We did.
We recorded this episode once, and then text started getting so weird halfway through the podcast that Suzie and I were like, fuck it. We lost our train of thought. ADHD took over, and we decided that we were going to re-record it and make it even more fucking powerful. So here we are, being bad bitches who, shit happens to. So, Suze, I want to go into conversations here about where you think that you've had to become that bitch the most in your life. Like moments in, whether it was your career, whether it was in life choices, where you quite literally looked at yourself and had to like put your power panties on and really move in a way that fucking made you stand out, that called your standard forward, that called you to rise into a whole different layer of leadership, and how you got here in the first place. If I were to ask you what one of your biggest that bitch moments was in your life, what do you think it is?
I've told you this one of these already, but I'm sure as we go and talk, more stuff's going to come up. The first one that always springs to mind is when I was around 5. I had my power panties on at 5.
Of course she did. Of fucking course she did.
And I literally, honestly, I literally had told, I was in school, it was my very first day, and Mama dropped me in. I don't think I've been in there for like 2 hours. And the teacher literally got us to all sit down and said they were going to read us a story. And I literally said, no, you sit down and I'll read you a story. And the teacher's like, no. It's story, like we read the story. And by the way, can I just make it clear to anyone listening, I couldn't even read properly at this point. So I couldn't even literally read. And so I wouldn't sit down. And my mum literally was called to come and get me. And she was mortified. Like,
of course she was.
Shame. And I was just irritated. I was like, Mum was like, you were so like I couldn't believe it that this had happened to you. And so I really think at that age, I was already in this, I will not be told to do. I will not be told I can't. Even, by the way, the teacher had a point. She had a point. But I've always been like that. You can't tell me that I can't. And if you tell me that, that's almost like rocket fuel for my system. It's like, right, let me go find a way. I'm like, Mrs. like, find the way. And so I feel like that was the start of something that was in my system that was almost like, I won't be told. I won't be da-da. And that played out with my family. My dad telling me to do and me saying absolutely no, that didn't go down very well. Like literally through my whole life, I've done the opposite of what everybody's told me.
And I love that. Like, I think that's like another aspect of like, obviously everybody that's listened to this podcast before knows that we talk about all different elements of what it looks like to be that bitch. But like what you're saying here, it's like almost like that bitch goes against the grain because she knows who she is, right? Like that bitch isn't going to be just coerced into a path because other people have walked it or because that's what you quote unquote should do. Like this is how you should operate, whether it's because you're a woman, whether it's because this is what your parents said, whether it's because a teacher said this. It's like, no, that bitch literally is so in her lane all the time that she really doesn't give a flying fuck if she's going against the grain. She just knows who she is. And it's an essence, I feel like. And I literally think every fucking woman
Mm-hmm.
on the planet has the essence of that bitch, but they forget it. They forget that they are this individual and that they have this undertone. But when you remember and you reawaken that part of you, it's like this fierce fucking energy that's like, fucking don't come at me. You can't fucking touch my energy. You can't make me do anything. Like, I will find the fucking way. Don't box me in, bitch. I know who I am. Like, that is my definition of that bitch. And I feel like that's exactly what you're describing. There's another story that I feel, though, that you and I have had a conversation about. I feel like it was in your corporate career about being that bitch.
Mm.
Like, there were times in your corporate
Which one,
yeah,
Kim?
yeah, yeah. There were times in your
Literally.
corporate career, and I think it was like, didn't you, correct me if I'm wrong, but in your corporate career, weren't you surrounded by a lot of men?
Yeah, loads. Yeah. And I feel like again, I'm going to go back to like corporate career. There was so many that bitch moments. There was so many times. And I feel like when we define that bitch is exactly what you said. But I also think we got to look at that bitch is literally when you either stand up or sit down,
Yes.
right? When you either choose to stand the fuck up and say, absolutely, you will not have my seat. Yeah.
Yep.
You're not having my seat at this table. Or whether you literally abdicate it and pass the chair to someone else. And so many people, including myself over the years, have passed the fucking chair. And so that bitch moments for me is where I can actually actively remember participating and saying, no, like you literally don't get to eat at this table.
Yeah.
I do.
Yes.
Yeah. Like I am. And so I think one of the key ones was well, there's been quite a few. So I accelerated like lightning up the corporate ladder, like really, really quickly. And so at every point I was almost already like said, this job is for you, but then I still had to obviously interview for said job. And at every point there was always usually a male. But I remember just this one time, it was me up against literally 5 other males, which were like, by the way, I love them all, like respect to every one of them. But the energy of which was created from that and the energy of which they were coming at it.
Yep.
And I already knew there were some senior male colleagues who were on the interviewing panel, because actually we were interviewed by 5 people. I already knew and I'd already heard that some of them had already made their decision. And so I'm going into this office in like literally they hired out this extra space in London just so that they could conduct these. And I'm already going in there with the attitude of like, fuck this shit. I'm literally the best person for this job. I've got the best results. I'm most grounded, level-headed. Like I've got award-winning teams. Like that job's mine.
Yep.
And so I remember being outside thinking, like seeing the line and just thinking, and I could hear the bravado and the jokes and like the da-da-da-da. And I was just thinking, you know, God, like, anyway, I got in. It was a real rigorous process. And obviously there's only one job. There wasn't like 2 roles or da-da-da. And I remember someone saying to me, better luck next time in the hallway.
Fuckers.
One of the other candidates. Oh, yeah. But don't worry. There was a lot of fucking... I just want to make it clear to everyone, I gave back. Like, just to be clear,
Yeah,
this is not old fucking woe is me story. This is like a... Anyway, so I was just like, yeah, you just watch. You watch. Like, literally is what I'm saying. Anyway, I got told, I think it was... I think like the very next day, I got a call to say that I got the job.
Of course you fucking did.
But the bit in between where you're like, wow, like this feels very much just me. This feels like there's a lot of like masculine energy here, and it's like basically which one of us is going to get it.
Sure.
You know, there was that kind of like attitude, and I'm just thinking, and the feeling of that was almost like, I'm not going to lie, it was a bit alien to me, because actually the place where I worked was really diverse. Like it was incredible. Like it was just a fucking beautiful cultural mixing pot of everyone and everything. And that's actually why I loved where I worked.
Sure.
And so, but I just remember distinctly having to like turn that, like, this will not be yours. I will have like victory. I'm going in this room to win. And actually, there is no one, and I mean there is no one, and this is another thing for that bitch. You switch the switch on that there is literally no one that can do this better than me. End of story.
Fucking love this, because you guys like apply what Suzie is saying right now to the online business space, to your business just in general, to growing a business, period. It is that level of conviction and certainty that constantly fucking sells. It sells
Mm,
like your credibility, it sells your validity, it sells who you are, it sells your level of embodiment, your level of leadership. Like when you have that deep inner knowing that you are the fucking best, that like people would be stupid as fuck not to hire you or to pay you or to work with you or whatever it is. There's like a level of that bitchery, if you will, that you get
that
to, yeah,
bitchery.
right? That you
I
get
love it.
to
I love it.
inside that like you're undeniable at that point. It's completely undeniable. I feel like actually my first career that I had, like when I interviewed for that position, I mean, I had no business interviewing for this position. I was 22 fucking years old. I was applying for a director role. I had never been in a leadership role. I didn't know how to grow a business. I didn't even go to school for fucking business management or anything in any way, shape, or form. And I just walked in there like my fucking shit didn't stink. And people who had been in that organization for literally decades had applied. They all did not get the fucking job. I did because of the energy that I brought to the table, because of the
Yeah, yeah.
power that is felt in your energy. So like I'm not surprised that of course you walk in there and then here's your aspect or your energy coming through of like fucking watch me do it, and of course you get it then because that was an energetic decision, right?
It always is energetic. Like it's always energetic before it's anything, right? And that is what I always say, like when you walk into the room, it's not the woman you see, it's the woman you feel.
Oh, I love that.
And so you feel the presence before the entry. Like that is like 100%. So when I'm working with people on that and frequency, it's like it's being big, like it's allowing that energy to pass that like literal doorway before you've even opened the door.
Yep.
And so for me, there was definitely that in that. And it's funny because I know we've talked about this before, Kim, but like another really big, and it was a massive standpoint moment for me where I still can't believe this, but I know a lot of people are going to listen to this and resonate, where I was told if I wanted to have a child,
Mm.
then I needed to think about another career. Okay. And just to be clear, that's totally illegal to say that to someone. But you would believe what goes on behind closed doors. And I know it because I've sat here with so many others and many women who've had the same thing said, the same kind of, and if it hasn't been said, it's like the absolute energy and intonation of like around how they're speaking around the
Totally.
subject. And that in of itself is absolutely so fucking brutal, by the way, on the soul, right? When you do want something, and also to think that you've literally tied your life, your career, your energy to something that actually is no longer or was actually maybe never in integrity with your value system. And that was a absolutely ugh, pill to swallow. But I made my mind up on that day there and then that I obviously like wasn't well, I was going to absolutely fucking have a child,
Yep.
by the way, and I was going to actually have a fucking super successful career. And I don't know how that was going to happen, but I was like, it's not going to be for you.
Totally. Totally. Well, and that's something that I like. Don't even get me started in that realm. Actually, somebody we both know, the COO for the Femme Power Grid right now. You guys,
Mm-hmm.
when she was, I believe she was pregnant. I believe she was pregnant. She filed a sexual harassment suit inside of her corporate company that she was in, and the next day they fired her for speaking about it.
Oh, I know. Yeah.
It's this kind of shit where it's like, I can't, when you like try to tell a woman that she can't do this or that it must look like this or like, oh my God, don't use your fucking voice. You're going to get punished for it. That's where like my own mama bear fucking cougar comes out. And I literally am like, I could squash you right now. I literally could fucking
Mm-hmm.
murder you. But it's that aspect. It's like when you tap into that layer of energy, much like you in this space, it's like, don't fucking tell me I can't have a kid and do this. You don't know what I'm capable of. You don't know what I can fucking hold.
You have no idea. And you know what? It wasn't that. It was the people that were like saying it. They all had families. Just to be really, I just want to be really clear with everyone. Of course they did. Because their wives were at home, not working and not doing whatever. And actually, I never saw my life like that. I never saw my life not working. Like I never saw myself not contributing and like financially, like spiritually, mentally, intellectually. Like that is never something, my plan is never not to do
Yeah.
that, right? Um, and so the that bitch in me was like, God, I could have took this so many different ways. Like I could have took this, but actually the part of me was almost like already thinking about architecting a different life, already doing it differently, already building things differently, already not having a boss. Like even though I had a boss, it wasn't a boss because he actually like trusted me so much. He just let me get on. I thought, God, if I leave here now am I ever going to allow, just like that teacher, right, on day
Yes.
one, to
Yeah.
tell me what to do? And I was like, no. It's why I've always found myself in the position of authority. Like the quickest one was like within 3 months, I was like managing, I said this to you, 110 people that were all between 45 and 65. And I was like 19, right? And they literally they hated me. Oh my God. Like the first couple of months, my God. And I literally worked for that. I worked for that period of time. But what I will tell you is within 2 to 3 months, I literally had the whole team on side because I knew how to work a room. I knew literally, like, it wasn't about age. It was actually about values, right?
Yep.
It was actually about integrity. It was actually just about leadership and standards. And actually, that's like age is irrelevant when it comes to that. And I had that at quite a young point in time.
Yeah, okay. So actually talk to me about that because I find this I get asked a lot, and I know you're the exact same way. I know Suzie inside and out, y'all. I know like all these stories, but we're bringing them to the surface because she's a powerhouse, okay? Um, I get asked a lot, like, how did I learn all of these skill sets? Like, where did this leadership component of you come in? Where did you learn to carry yourself? This, like, even when you just said I knew how to work a room, like that aspect, my assumption is nobody fucking taught me how to do that. Nobody. I didn't.
No, I mean,
There's no training.
no, and
There's no school for
there's no
this,
training.
right?
Not at 19 anyway.
Yeah.
Like I actually did business and finance and I did like leadership and HR and all these things at uni, but like this was way before then. So like this was in my like gap years. And so we learn this from like 0 to 7, 7 to 12. Right? We learn this from 12 to like it used to be 18 and now it's actually our brain keeps going till 21. It's still fucking learning and growing. It doesn't actually stop at 18. And so we're learning literally how to shape the reality that we want all the time.
Yep.
That's like it's for our survival, right? And we learn actually what works for people, what doesn't work for people, what people respond to, what they don't, what they respect, what they don't respect. And so I was like at a young age, like exposed to a lot. I mean, my mum and dad we grew up in a pub.
Yeah.
So, you know, you can imagine the amount of like customers and friends and everything else and already at that age. And it's your parents. It's like how your parents like literally like work in the world as well. And so we're already on our way to leaders,
Yeah.
right? At like the age of 7, at the age of 12. And you can see it. You'll see different like kids in the room, right? And how they hold themselves and how they don't. And so we're already being shaped. So when I walked into that room, I already had that. But I also had, I'm just going to say, like, regardless of all of this, I had like my power pants on.
Yep.
I had this is going to work. And the reason why it's going to work, just to be really clear, is there's 110 of them and there's just me. And no matter what, I'm coming out of this alive. That is literally what we do, by the way.
Yep.
That is literally what we do. There's the only way that you can lead is when you're like, right, I've got a vision. And actually I had a really incredible vision for the team and for like where we were going to take it. And I had to present that to them. And a lot of them were like, yeah, like we'll watch you with that, you know. And then within 2 months, they were helping me with it. They were supporting me with it. They were doing it for me because actually they all bought in. And I think a lot of even Kim, what we're talking about, like even with you, like you learned that you already started to have to like self-lead at whatever point. And we either, by the way, we either bring that self-leadership along with us or we suppress it and we forget that we ever had it. And a lot of women that I find, they don't like have to like grow confidence or grow their power or blah blah blah. They just have to reclaim what's already there.
Yeah. Yeah.
You're just reclaiming what's already in you. And so that is what I think that is.
Well, yeah. And it's like, it's interesting to me because I think a lot of people, it's like, you know, when you say 0 to 7, and then 7 to 12 and all of this, it's like, and it's your parents and it's this and it's a situation and it's all these things like there's so many things that go into it. Right. And part of the That Bitch podcast, and I fucking hammer this home into everybody. It's like, I know you know this, Suzie, but it's like, I had a terrible fucking childhood. I didn't have parents who were empowering me, who were like, oh my God, Kim, you can do anything. You're a bad bitch. Go out there and do the thing. Right. I didn't have any of that. I still did it anyway, right? It's like, now for me, I would venture to guess, and we're not going to go into psychoanalyzing me on a live podcast right now.
Oh, we need more than 30 minutes, Kim. We need like
right?
4 days and 30 minutes.
But it's like, I look at mine as more of like, mine, I think, grew out of a protective mechanism. Like my empowerment, my leadership, it grew out of a protective mechanism of like, how can I shield myself? Who do I have to be? What do I have to do to protect this? And so I became a very fierce little girl. I became a very when a lot of my friends from high school found out that I was going into college for elementary education, they were like, "What the fuck? Why? You're not a teacher." They literally all identified I literally can remember I ran into a friend
Mm-hmm.
from high school in like a supermarket here when I was in my early 20s, and I was the director already, and she asked me, "What are you doing now?" And I told her, I was like, "Oh, I'm a director of a not-for-profit private education center. I'm, like I'm in charge of the whole thing." And she was like, "Duh, that makes perfect sense for you. You were never a teacher. You 100% were always a leader. Like that's just who you are." And so it's like your leadership can be born. I actually just had this conversation with another podcast guest a couple of weeks ago. Your leadership can be born out of resiliency and trauma, or it can be born out of nurture and actually like developing and fostering those characteristic traits. It can come from both spaces.
Yeah, and it can come from like literally one or the other or both.
Yep.
Right. And so for me, both.
Yep.
100%. And I'm not going to say like my mum and dad ever like nurtured the leader in me, because that even wasn't even their vocabulary back then. Oh my God, they were literally
Yeah.
in survival themselves.
Yes.
They were like, how do we literally, they came over at 18 from Ireland. It was like, how do we raise 3 kids on our own and run a pub?
Yep.
It literally was that. And so that innate knowing of, like you say, how to work a room and it was like, well, my God, there's so many people here. It's like you work out who to trust very quickly.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
You work out like, who's nice and who's not. And so you either pick that up quickly, you don't. And actually, funny enough, we pick up as kids like so quickly, more quickly than what obviously we're able to do these days. And so that's like, for me, that was definitely born of both. There was definitely a protective side. And what I see is really interesting. You're saying, so I had this conversation again with a client where her leadership is now, some of it is still stemmed from that wounded child trauma, right?
Yep.
So it's coming out in all different shapes and forms, but very subtle. So not like, like not like someone that you can just watch and go, right, that is wounded, right? This is very subtle, that it just takes like 1 or 2 degrees. And then other parts are just so fucking grounded, like
Yep.
so solid. And so, and for me, it was almost like again, when I think back to my mum and dad, like my dad always told me, he always said to me, you can do whatever you want, do whatever you want. And we'd be so proud of you if you just did whatever it is you want. Now, whether or not he said that versus like the standard he held for that, those two didn't match, which is why when I ended up like handing my notice in at corporate, which was a very big deal at this point, I'd got to like director and shareholder. And I remember calling him and thinking, oh my God, like he's so proud of this role. And and I remember calling him and thinking, this is my that bitch moment where it's like, it doesn't matter now. Like I'm done. And he just said to me, I'm so glad, because that job was killing you.
Oh.
And I was like, I wish I'd fucking spoke to him 2 years ago. Because without knowing it, even with our own leadership, we keep leading, and sometimes we don't know we're leading in someone else's shoes.
Oh, totally.
And so
Totally.
there was part of me on that day that cried hard, because she had still been leading from like wanting to make her parents proud. And that actually is not a reason to lead.
100%.
Right? We lead ourselves for ourselves. We lead the vision for us. Like, and we can say, I am leading my vision for myself. And I'll tell you what, give me 5 minutes with you and I'll get your root system on and we'll find out if you actually are. Because that was wild. That day, I'll never forget it. I'll never forget it. And I was like, Dad, why didn't you say anything? And he said, because I thought you knew. And I was like, well, I did know.
It's like one of those, how you talk.
I did know about the.
Yeah, you talk about this a lot. I feel like it's like the word that you use all the time is niggle, when it's like you've got this like niggle in the back of your mind or a niggle in your body when you can feel it. But it's almost like, I think so many of us get that and we don't want to admit it to ourselves out loud because of the identity, the life, what we've built around it. It's like this massive structure, this massive thing that we've created, that it's like, oh my God, if we admit this, then what happens to this entire structure? What happens to this identity? But it is so, this is like, is this not the essence of coaching and mentorship? That's why you fucking have coaches and mentors, because they can see your shit when you don't want to admit it to yourself, when you don't want to call it out loud. They're clocking your patterns. They're watching you as like an outside observer. And so it's so much easier for them to ask the questions, to call you out, obviously, when you have like good, high impact, high quality coaches, but it's so much easier for them to see that. So it's no different than why your dad was like, I knew this. But we never
I knew this.
Yes.
And he wasn't even qualified
Yeah,
coach.
of course.
Ugh, like, but also like when you say that as well, and the niggle, yeah. But for me now, it's conflict. So the niggle is conflict. So if we can address it as conflict, it's so easy to go right. Like, what part of me is in conflict right now? Like, what is the conflict? What am I literally for or against here? What am I like literally ignoring or trying to suppress? Like, what is that? Because whether you've built this fantastic moat and this castle and everything else, and you're worried it's going to come crashing down, I just want to let you in. I want to shortcut this for you. It's going to come crashing down anyway.
Totally.
It's coming, whether you want it or not. And so for me, like, why would you not call that forward? Like, why would you spend, and this is my mission, why would you spend another 10, 15, 20 years, like literally just dragging out like that, that architecture when actually you could be over here building on fertile land. And I know it's easier said than done in terms of me just like, but facts are we don't have much time here.
Yeah.
Like we don't have much time here. So if you are serious about like, that conflict, it can be tiny things, right? But it can also be, and I had this conversation with someone 2 weeks ago, got a conflict. And I was like, great, tell me what it is. And I mean, it was like huge. It was a relationship. It was marriage. It was just one sentence that changed everything.
Yep.
Because in that moment, it was out, right?
Yep.
In that moment, it was out. And that's what we're scared of. But the thing is, would you be more scared of that out, or would you be more scared of the fact that you still literally are not allowing that girl in her power pants to live?
Yep.
And that is actually what terrifies me the most. I had a call today. It was very emotional. And I was like, imagine getting this far with you who got you here, and then you still say no to her.
Yeah.
Like,
well, and
no,
this is that bitch, right? Like these are the essence. It's
this
like
is that bitch.
so many people, they like wait to make a that bitch move when it's convenient. They wait to make a that bitch move when it's like, okay, there's stability here. It now feels safe. It now feels like this is a logical decision that I need to make. And it's okay for me to make this. But that's not what that bitch does. Like that.
No. And you listen, if you're listening and you're doing that right now, you are not that bitch, which is why you're probably not seeing, well, no, it's not probably, you are not seeing what you want right now, because that bitch moves regardless, and she moves when it's awkward, and she moves when it's uncomfortable, and she moves when she feels like she's going to be physically sick, and she moves anyway because she knows on the other side of that move, or the other side of becoming that bitch, she actually does get what she wants. And it's not get what she wants like a petulant child,
right?
It's literally what she was here to do. It's what she was born to do. It's how she was born and saw things. And most people just aren't prepared, and they're going, yeah, I'm making all these little that bitch moves, and you're like, they're not it. And I'm going to also say, it doesn't have to be a grand gesture.
Yeah.
It doesn't have to be this big, like ultimatum or this big whatever. It's not even that. It's you can do little moves, but they still have to be actually uncomfortable. Otherwise, you're not moving anything forward. And don't let your shadows but let you believe that by doing little things that are like, oh, it's really comfortable, we've had a really good day, like that's the moves. Because, we will be required at some point to answer the call. And this is the quest, right? And this is the evolution of like who we've both been, and every woman that you've ever had on this show. It's like whether you answer the call on the evolution or whether you don't, whether you evolve or whether you literally won't.
Yep.
Literally.
And honestly, you're so spot on with this, you guys, because it's like this past month, and not even, my God, Suzie, like when Suzie and I decided that we wanted to open the Femme Power Grid, which, like, by the way, is literally defying all odds. I don't know a single other person in the online space that can say that they've built in record speeds the way that we have built a second business between the two of us, right? Like the Femme Power Grid hit 6 figures in the first 7 fucking days, you guys. In the first 4.5 months, we had like 33 people join our space. It's a 12-month commitment. Most people are like, oh my God, I can't do 12-month commitments. Like, don't sell that. It's so hard to get people in and blah, 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 blah. And Suzie and I are over here like, no, fuck you. We know what the fuck people need. And this is what our standard is. This is what the space is. And there's a reason for that. And it's like, the decisions that we've had to make the entire time to get to where this thing, like Suzie and I were going back and forth just before this a little bit ago, and we're like, it's just like all happening. It's all feeling good. Like things are popping in and it's feeling delicious, and we don't even have to like be this like crazy machine. It's like, it's just happening. It's happening daily, every fucking day, something miraculous, it feels like, is happening right now. And it's
Yep.
because of how many decisions and risks that we've taken during this entire path. Like, if you think that Suzie and I are just sitting here on we're the most regulated fucking kumbaya bitches right now, making the most comfortable decisions, fucking going after.
I am a kumbaya bitch.
But hold on, making
No,
like.
I'm not. No, I'm so not.
Yeah. Like making all of these decisions that were like, we want big ass results. Like, no, we know that the process of getting big ass results is wildly uncomfortable. We know that that process is dancing on your edges. We know that we have to stretch ourselves and push ourselves. And in that quest of becoming self-actualized and building the thing that you really want to fucking build, man, is it going to feel sticky at times? Is it going to also feel delicious? Also true. But it's like this entire aspect, it's like, I feel like right now, you guys, if you do not follow the Femme Power Grid and watch what we've built, you need to, because watch our behaviors, watch the moves that we're making. We're about to unveil something massive for the Femme Power Grid, something that nobody else in the online space has done the way that we're doing it. And we're doing it well before we need to do it because we know that's actually going to time collapse the growth. It's an edgy move. It costs more money. We had to invest more into the company. We don't fucking care because we know what this entire space is. We know where it's going. And so it's like what Suzie's saying here is this woman chooses the evolution. That bitch chooses these moments that make her uncomfortable, that stretch her, and she does it on fucking purpose. There's a reason behind it, and she knows it. So whatever I hear, and Suzie, I guarantee you're going to echo this sentiment. It's like whenever I hear somebody be like, oh, but like I can't do that right now because, you know, my husband's sick with this or my kids are having this going on. I've got a lot going on over here. I literally look at you and I'm like, you're making the wrong move. You saying no to yourself, you are literally making the wrong move. Keep distracting yourself. Keep delaying the inevitable success that you want. You can keep staying where you want or choose your evolution, walk into the uncomfortability and get to the level of comfortable that you actually want. That's what that bitch does. So I love that you're talking about it from this lens because that's exactly what we've been able to do. We're the living, breathing embodiment. You're the living, breathing embodiment of all of that bitch moves, moving out of corporate, deciding to have a baby. Literally, I'll never forget when Suzie told me the story about her son. And she's like, I wanted a redhead little boy. Guess what she got? A fucking redhead little boy.
I wanted a redhead little boy. I wanted a red dog and I wanted a country house and I had the outsides of it. I wanted to go like travel more, New York and red lipstick, right? And all of that happened within the space of around, I would say, 28 months.
It's insane.
And I put it down, 28 months. And what you're saying as well, like we made these decisions during the Femme Power Grid, right? That's why but we also were these people before because we continued and we compounded. And I always say, and I want you to really think about this as well, because you see that woman that you just said, and we were literally voice noting on this earlier around people that just sit there, people that like, I'm going to come back in like 55 days or blah, blah, blah. And I'm like, great. No, there's like literally no pressure whatsoever. But also I'm off here over here living now. Like there's this piece around me where I don't have tolerance for it anymore. It's just not a standard that I carry. I get that you've got whatever, and I get that you've got lots of shadows around this, but you know, my role right now is not. And I think too many people spend too much time trying to convince people shadows. And we're not talking, by the way, I'm trying to be clear, investments. I'm talking about life. I'm talking about in health. I'm talking about in decisions around relationships. You name it. We put this on it. Like that bitch makes the decision regardless of her external circumstance.
Yeah.
Right. It's not about that because she's safe regardless. Like she's safe regardless. And so it's drawing on that power and it's drawing on that strength. And that's what speeds everything up. But I want you to know that if you are the person that sits on the pot and literally isn't making decisions, we can compound upwards and we can compound backwards.
Totally.
And the longer you sit on that, the longer you are literally going to be on the pot and like literally, basically not even just a reality you don't want right now, you're creating literally like a bigger version of what you don't want. That's why people say to me, how comes like this has got just even bigger for me? I'm like, because you're compounding backwards right now.
Yeah.
And that field is just growing out the way. And you better believe it will grow because that's what it's there to do. But it's not in your favor.
No.
And we all have to like realize this. So I feel I'm coming back to like Femme Power. We literally have made uncomfortable decisions. We've closed stuff down. We've realigned with stuff. We've done stuff separately with our brands so that we could come together. Like these are stuff that most people are like, you know what, you're good.
Like, Jesus, I don't want to do that.
You're good. You're good, thanks. I think I'll just stick over here, my multi six figures, and I'm just good over here,
Yeah.
like building my seven figure. And I'm like, no, we've got such a big vision. It's so massive. It's like an empire. It's so much bigger than obviously even us. And we're like, we saw a gap. We were like, this literally is what we were here to do. We've done it. We've plugged it. We've literally filled it with the most insane people. And obviously, there is something very big, which we can't mention coming, that no one's pioneered. And so we're also pioneering something that, you know what, is going to take testing. It is going to take feedback. It is going to, all of the things. And we're like, bring it on.
We've got it.
Like, bring it on. Like, no matter what, bring it on. And again, just a lot of people, they think that we're, like, oh, it's easy and it's chill. And it's not at all. The difference is like, no, like I always say this, I'll make it happen no matter what.
Literally. Yeah.
It's the girl. It's the I can't read, but I will read no matter what.
Yeah.
It's like it's that energy. There's a through line for my whole life.
Fuck. 35 minutes. Hold on. You're there. You're there. It's back. So I just got to tell.
This happened last time.
It does. It's only happened like literally with you. But hold on. Let me just write a note so that I tell Crystal. She'll edit it. Minute 35. Okay. So let me just go into this and then we'll segue out of this anyway. She'll edit this all out. Suzie, I totally fucking agree with you. Like literally spot the fuck on. I've literally loved this conversation. Obviously, I love you to death. You are quite literally the epitome of what a high impact, high quality leader looks like. Your journey, you are that bitch. That's my fucking MO. And I'm so grateful that you came on this podcast. The way that I end this podcast is we do a That Bitch Files segment. And so I'm going to ask you 4 questions that I just want to hear your honest opinion on, and then we'll go from there. So question number 1. What's one belief that you had to actually completely delete, you had to eradicate to actually become this version of yourself now?
Oh my God. Just one?
I know. Everybody's always like, I've got like 12. I'm like, just lay it on me. Tell me.
Do you know what? I've got just a new fresh take on this. I'm just going to put this out. Like, I have stopped believing in beliefs, right? I spent my whole life doing that work and then helping people with it and not realizing things shift, things didn't shift. Actually, I'm going to say, what new standard did I adopt? Because for me, like that's it just locks in. It's just locked in. And the new standard is that she literally gets to have it all.
Love.
Like that. Like, so when you tell me you can have this or this or this, no, I'm, and then just knowing that, it's like my body just goes to find the answers on my behalf.
Yep. Oh, that's sexy. And again, you guys hear what she just said. Her body goes to find the answers on her behalf, because once you decide that energetic decision, once you raise that standard and you live in that, your brain, your body has no choice but to find the fucking path. It's just most people won't let themselves decide, Okay, I love that. Now, all right, this is a fun one too, because you just brought up standards. So this next question is, what's one standard that made you money?
Oh my God. A standard is I get to make money every day.
Love.
Get to make money every day. And obviously right now, I am getting paid every single day, like every day. And can I just say, if you haven't had that standard applied and you're a woman in business, start applying it ASAP. I didn't even know that it was a blind spot.
Oh, totally.
Didn't even know. Yeah. And it's like, of course. Like, of course. And multiple times, by the way.
Totally. I love that. And she's not wrong, you guys. We are quite literally getting paid every day. Suzie and I just hit this week we're at 88,000, something like that in sales. Like I can't even fucking believe it. Like we're killing
it. And the week is not done.
The week is not done. Actually, that's been in like 5 days. So that's wild. Okay, so what is one rule or lesson that you would teach your younger self now, knowing what you know?
Oh my God. This is like, I hope everyone else acts this way.
They do, everybody.
What is that I would teach myself? Do you know what? I would teach myself. Do you know, it's not a rule, Kim. It's I would like her to know that she doesn't need to abandon herself in order to achieve what it is she wants in life. And in fact, the less she does it, the quicker everything else will drop in for her.
Sexy. That is insanely sexy because that's the truth. It's like, how many times have you abandoned yourself in your journey? How many times have I done it? Oh my God, it's the most annoying thing. And when you look backwards, you're like, girl, don't do that. You are worth so much more. Like literally, you don't have to do that. Fantastic. Okay, so this is the last question now. Question number 4. It's my favorite one. This is a finish this sentence, okay? So you know you're that bitch when?
When you tell the fucking teacher to sit down and you'll read her the story.
So, okay, yes, and if you were to elaborate a little bit more deeply on that, what does that mean to you?
It means that, like, literally, no matter what, you've got yourself. Like, literally, and that you don't need. I'm going to always say that I'm going to be an avid student always, and I learn from people 100%. I'm never going to say I am literally done, ever. Like, that's just never going to happen either, by the way. But there is going to be a part where I'm like, no, I've got this.
Yeah.
I'm good. Even when. And so if you've heard the rest of the podcast, you will know what that means, Kim.
Yes, I love. That was hilarious, though. You got me. You definitely got me. Go ahead.
Could we get Kristen to do that again? Will she kill us?
Wait, Crystal, you mean?
Crystal.
Oh, to edit that one again?
Yeah.
Yeah. Do you want me to do it again?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. It was at 41. No, it was at 39.
Yeah. Minute 39. Okay. So redo. Okay, here we go.
Only because you froze forever.
Oh. So...
And then I'm like literally trying to read your face and I'm like this looking.
Okay, here we go. We go again. Ready?
Sorry, 1 second.
Oh.
Oh yeah, I thought we went to the toilet. Okay.
Shut up. Oh my God, I want to punch you.
Is she there? Where has she gone?
I want to punch you.
Okay. I'm going to say something different. Maybe.
Okay, let's see. Okay, the final and last question. It's my favorite one, Suzie. It's you just have to finish the sentence. So the sentence is, you know you're that bitch when?
You know you're that bitch when you...
We're going to do that again.
When you woof like a dog.
When you woof like Willow. Okay,
Willow.
So minute 42-ish.
Get down. Oh my God. She's going to absolutely have a... Get down. Willow, down. She's fast asleep. Sorry.
It's okay. You're okay.
I can't leave her out of my sight because of her stitches.
Okay,
oh,
hold on.
Fuck's sake. Right, start again.
Ready?
Jesus Christ.
All right, so question number 4, Suzie. It's my favorite one. All you have to do is finish the sentence. The sentence is, you know you're that bitch when?
You know you're that bitch when people say your name before you enter the room.
That's sexy. That's sexy. They know who you are. It's like they're whispering in the corner, like, oh my God, did you see Suzie Cuthbertson just walked in? The shadow bitch just walked in?
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Yes. No, I fucking love that. I fucking love that. Okay, so Suzie, where can everybody connect with you outside of, obviously, this podcast? Where can they find you on socials?
Well, firstly, you can find me at the Femme Power Grid
Boom.
with, obviously, Kim.
Yes.
You can find me at Suzie Cuthbertson over on Insta, which is where I hang out. And you can find me at Shadow Bitch, again, over on Insta, where I reside, where she lives. Shadow Bitch lives over there.
Amazing. We will have all of these links in the show notes, you guys. And then we're going to do a shameless little plug here for the Femme Power Grid really quickly. I've never pitched anything on this podcast. I've never brought anything forward. But when I say what Suzie and I have built inside the Femme Power Grid, it is a fucking power grid. It is a power grid, a power source for you to plug back in to more activations, to more energy, to remind yourself who the fuck you are, to call yourself out, to raise your fucking standards, to be around other women who quite literally are not coming into a space because they want to compete with you or they want you to pay them or whatever the fuck it is. They're coming in this space of genuinely saying, we all get to fucking win and we all get to fucking win big. The conversations that Suzie and I I facilitate in the Femme Power Grid, it is breakthrough after breakthrough after breakthrough. Like, you will never leave a Femme Power Grid call not like, holy fuck, did I just get smacked in the face with the most delicious energy that I've ever had in my fucking life? It will make you move differently. It has expanded the members that are inside. We have people who've just joined and like in week 1 are messaging me like, we are literally so fucking obsessed with everything that you guys do. It's insane. And so my invitation to you is, if you are an entrepreneur, if you are a woman who is in a leadership position, if you are somebody who is ready to deepen your own leadership, your own energy, your own source to yourself, your own power, and you want to be a woman that literally, like Suzie just said, people are mentioning your fucking name before you come into the room, that there is no better space in the Femme Power Grid. Like, come and expand and grow with us and evolve with us. It is the most delicious space that we've ever created. It's why we're so fucking obsessed with it. And it's why the space is compounding and growing at rates that we've never seen inside this industry. That's my pitch to you.
Facts. True that, Kim. True that.
True that, she says. All right, you guys. On that note, you will find all of the information in the show notes. We'll have links to everything for Suzie. We'll have links in regard to even the Femme Power Grid sales page. If you guys ever have thoughts or questions, please know that you are welcome to come in my DMs. You're welcome to come in Suzie's DMs. We'd absolutely love to have a conversation with you. We'd absolutely love to see your ass in the Femme Power Grid. And on that note, you guys, we will be back next week for another episode of the That Bitch podcast. Have a beautiful week, and we will be talking to you soon.